Okay, welcome back. Just had a quick clean down. Now my thoughts was, okay, what can I do to demonstrate to you how we can use modelling chocolate? Now, we're working from home, we're in a national lockdown. I am going to get ingredients to you to make the modelling chocolate, and then we're going to utilise what we have at home. Now, I do not have any specialist equipment here. What I do have is just what I would have in my normal everyday knife toolbox. I've got a couple of palette knives. I'm lucky enough I've got a very small palette knife, which I'm going to utilise. I've got a pipe cleaner. I can also use this for a shaping tool, and I've also got this which I can utilise as a shaping tool as well. It's just like a little blade, almost like a fine cutter. So I'm going to use that. Now my plan is, I've got brown chocolate, and I thought to myself, right, what can I do that's brown? I don't have a lot of, I don't have my white chocolate here, I don't have milk chocolate here, so I'm not blessed with that luxury as we are under lockdown. So I've got dark chocolate. What can I do? I'm quite a Harry Potter fan, so I thought, okay, I'll give the sorting hat a go. So I've sketched, I don't know if you can, well, I'll show you my pad. There we go. I've done a little bit of a sketch. That's my plan. So I'm thinking, right, so what do I need to do? I need a disc. What am I going to cut out the size of the disc that I need? I haven't got anything at home. What am I going to do? I've got a pan lid. Okay, so I'm going to give this a go. So I'm going to use my smallest bit of modelling chocolate first, because this is going to be the disc on which the sorting hat, well, the rim of the sorting hat, should I say. So making sure it's nice and pliable, which it is. Just going to give that a little bit of a roll together. I've got some greaseproof here. I'm going to put it between the sheets of greaseproof. Rolling pin. I'm going to roll it out flat. This is my brim. You have to work with this quickly because while it's out in the open air, it's setting. Okay, there's no hard and fast rule here. I'm going to take the chocolate away. Hopefully I've created a nice round brim for my sorting hat. Now we've got a little bit of crumbling on the edges here. I'm not too concerned about that, because anybody who knows about Harry Potter, they'll know that the sorting hat was an old raggedy hat. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to press it down, and I will get the shape that I get from sorting hat. I want it to be almost raggedy. I want it to be bits missing. That's going to work my purpose. Lovely. Now that's lovely and flat. The sorting hat isn't really, is it, if you can recall? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get a little bit of blue roll because I've got a little bit of cocoa butter coming out of there. I'm just going to dab that off. Now this will set, and this will set hard, so I'm thinking I want to put a few shapes under here. So I'm going to persuade this into shape before it sets properly, because if I don't do it now, it'll crack. when I try to do it later. And that's chocolate, so if it does start to crack on you, you can mould it back into shape. There we go. I'm going to leave that to set as it is. Happy with that. It's not a perfect circle, but I don't want it to be a perfect circle on this example. But I've still left my centre point for popping the cone of the hat on when it's done. I can feel that setting already. So I'm just going to pop that to one side. I'll leave this edge of the paper so I can work on. Move that up and I'll leave that to set. So now I want a cone, and it's my attempt when I want to make my cone. I want to kind of push the head down, and then I want to shape out some kind of face and put the little crevices in the hat, which, as you'll have seen if you've seen Harry Potter, it's a very misshapen hat. It's certainly not a witch's hat as you would expect them to be. So I'm going to open the largest one. This is still quite pliable, although I'm going to give this another good kneading, because it's soft in the middle but it's firm on the outside. It's almost got a crust, so I need to knead this all together again, otherwise I'll have lumps in it, and I don't want the lumps. I'm going to massage this together just like we did when it was in slab form. I'm utilising the cling film to do this to keep my hands fairly clean. We've gone through the dull stage, and I'm starting to leave, I don't know if you can see that, it's leaving a lovely shine when I press my knuckles into the centre of the chocolate there. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for that lovely shine on it. You don't want it to get too hot, because then it'll start to release too much oil. Lovely. So what I'm going to do with this is quite possibly going to have to do the sorting hat in 2 stages. I need to very quickly do this one. Get this kneaded down. So I can put this on top of that and build the hat up that way. Just quickly knead this, halving it all the time, pushing it into each other, letting that outer crust mix with the warmer centre so you get an even clay. I keep referring to it as clay. It is all edible. I wouldn't like to think of the calorific content or what this finished piece is going to be. It's chocolate and sugar, but it is all edible. just looking at my design as I put this on. I don't want to stretch that out too far at the moment. Okay, and just going to use the handle of my tool to pop creases into what is my sorting hat. I'm happy with the texture that I've got, particularly on this top piece of chocolate. It's not as smooth as the bottom piece, which ordinarily is what you would be looking for, would be a quality point to your modelling chocolate, a nice smooth finish. But ironically, in Harry Potter, the sorting hat is not smooth. So it serves my purpose. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to put a face on here. So looking at my picture, I need to furrow some brows in the chocolate. I'm going to use my fingers to almost create the eye sockets, and then I need to make a mouth. So what I have, I know you can't see much at the moment, I will turn that around and let you have a look at that, if you can see. I'm starting the features on the face here. So I'm just working on that. In fact, what I'll do is I'll work this way around. So if you can see, I've squeezed that out. Join that up. I want to make a mouth. It's not like your traditional face that you would ordinarily see. There we go. Now, quite happy with that for a first attempt. The chocolate obviously needs to harden. This here, if you can hear that, obviously it was a lot thinner. That is set. Now I'm going to push this together and thin this base a little bit, just around here, so the rim has more definition to it, so it's the same right around. I'd be happier if that was more. If you can take that off, I'm going to reshape that. I think, yeah, that's better rather than that. Too much of an overhang. I think that's better. Now, something I do have. Something I do have. Got a little bit of gold spray. A little bit. I'm not going to attempt to lift that at the moment because I can still feel that that's quite tacky as I pass my blade under there. I feel if I lift that up now, it will collapse. So I'm going to leave that to set. But as you can see, well, looking at the camera there, that needs to come a little bit more like that. There you go. So we have similar, I'll give myself a similar to it. We have effectively a sorting hat. Modelling chocolate, great to work with. If something doesn't go the way that you want it to go, re-knead it down. If you're finished with it and you've still got some left, make sure it's wrapped up, store it in an airtight container, and you can use it the next day. Think of something else you could do and use it the next day. It will keep, I would say, it will keep for about 3 days before it goes past its purpose. It will go hard. This is the piece I took off the top of the hat. Okay, it's quite solid. It is totally edible. It's chocolate and sugar. It's very, very sweet. As I mentioned before, I wouldn't like to think of what that would do to the hips if you decided to eat it. But have a good go. I'll be setting some work, some research to go alongside this. As I've already mentioned, it is my plan to get chocolate and glucose out to you for this session next week. What I would like you to do in the meantime is research modelling chocolate, research your recipe. You can use my recipe, but I dare say there's hundreds of different recipes out there. Bear in mind what I will give you is chocolate and glucose. So base it around chocolate and glucose for your recipe. I would like you to either design or research and carry out a small structure, a small model from your modelling chocolate. And that is going to be your task next week. That's going to be your practical. Okay? If you've got any questions, you know how to get me. Teams, email. I will see you obviously before this session next week, but have a good think. Have some sketches like I've done. I just thought about my colours and I thought, what haven't I got? Oh, I know what I'll do. It's not perfect. If I was spending more time on it, you know, I could improve it. I have no doubt about that. But have a good go. Have a thought. And obviously I'll be in touch to work out how we're going to get the ingredients to you. Okay, guys? Have fun with your research. Okay? And I will speak to you very soon.